I think I might have diabetes, but it's fine. It's fine.
Everything is fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's
Everything's
fine.
fine.
And you know what? He had diabetes, and I don't know if bad circulation and cold feet. I think it leads to diabetes. So there's that.
Well, I don't know if it leads to diabetes. I think it's more like having poor circulation in your feet is potentially a symptom of diabetes. That's much more likely.
Right.
I don't
But
think if your
that.
feet are constantly cold, you catch diabetes. I think it's more like you get frostbite.
But you know
Really.
what? It's fine.
It is fine. Everything is
I
fine.
know. And on another positive note, because I think what we need now is all the positivity that we can get.
Yeah.
We had another day with 0
I
cases.
know.
How
So
exciting is that?
it is. It's really exciting. And I think it is important to celebrate it and acknowledge it as a massive win for our province and all of us as individuals. But it's also important that, let's little round of applause.
Yeah.
Applause. Did I just say
Yeah.
applause?
Yeah.
That's when
it
a
worked
dog
because
when a dog claps, he calls it applause. Yeah. So I mean, it's a good recognition of the work that we've done over the last week to 10 days to 2 weeks.
yeah.
It doesn't mean go out and have a party. It means we're that much closer. So it's worth the applause, and I'm proud of us.
I think what is really important right now feels like a very crucial time. It feels
Yeah.
like now, like these days and this week and the past week are the times where you're tempted with this sense of, because I can feel it, like the last couple of weeks were like really kind of scary and uncertain, and now as you get more consistently low days with low cases and more, you feel like you feel like things are starting to get a little better, and it's like this little test for all of us to say, it feels like you can kind of start to be normal, but you like absolutely cannot.
And the reason that you can't is because the evidence that we have now is not based on the situation we're in now. It's based on the situation we were in a while ago. So like
Right.
a week to 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Maybe in a couple of weeks, when we have evidence of the situation we're in right now, will be even that much brighter. But
Right.
I mean, we're only now hitting a couple of weeks after Easter. So there's a possibility that people made poor decisions, as the one and only
That's
minister,
true.
Dr. Haggie. It's like when you were in the woods and you didn't know anyone was watching. So like,
What were you doing?
what were you doing? So we're not yet there, but it is important to acknowledge that it is a bit of a win, and I'm proud of us as a province.
I am too, and I think, just a couple more weeks of bunkering down, and maybe we'll be able to slowly start like a new normal.
Yeah, bit by bit. Now, speaking of things that are positive, have you heard the name Rita Hickey? Do you know who Rita Hickey is?
Sounds familiar.
So God love this woman. So Rita Hickey is a 92-year-old woman who recovered from COVID.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
It's
Okay,
such
I
a good
heard.
story. So
Yeah.
I've reached out to the family. I happen to have like a couple of connections that are related there. And we were talking a little bit about it. And when she was released, they had t-shirts printed, these pink t-shirts. Like, this is a 92-year-old woman, right? And it
Love
just says, I kicked COVID's ass or something like that, printed on her
Oh
t-shirt.
my God.
And when she came home from the hospital, they had a parade of in excess of 100 cars. And it's just a small around the bay kind of community. I mean, it's not like they're in St. John's or Mount Pearl or even CVS. Like, it's further out Conception Bay and like Conception Harbor, that kind of area. And 100+ cars. Incredible.
Yeah, that's what I love. There was so much negativity surrounding people with that, and I love that a 92-year-old woman that, based on all the information that we've been given, she would have been a very high risk patient.
Absolutely. And she was.
So for her to make a full recovery is incredible.
Oh, it's huge. But in talking to some of the family, they had confidence in her, because she's atypical. Like, as a 92-year-old woman, like she's tough, she's hardy, she's got no underlying health conditions. They just flat out described her. They're like, Aunt Rita's a badass. Like nobody is surprised that this 92-year-old woman made
Kicked
it
its
through.
ass.
Exactly. And if you look at her pictures, you'd never say she was in her 90s.
Oh,
Never. She's just so tough.
what's her
And
secret?
uh,
Find
if
out if you can.
I'm going to say that her secret, well, according to the donation that Lambs gave her secret could be rum. It's possible. So that was a part of it, because in the picture when she got home, she had a bottle of rum and she was celebrating, and
Stop
it was Lambs. I guess it's amber. Yeah. Anyway, I thought that it's an absolutely beautiful story, and if I
You're
get the
right.
chance, I'm
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what we need right now. We need that. It's almost like coming over the other side of it. So
Exactly. Like we can start to see the other side of that curve, just starting to see it. Everybody stay still, keep washing your hands, and don't touch your damn face, and don't go outside if you don't have to, but we're getting a little bit closer. So Aunt Rita was healthy, so she didn't have anything going on with her. But as we were getting ready I'm sorry, I don't want to embarrass you, but I think this is hilarious. As we were getting ready to record this, you were talking to me about flossing, and you had these little flossing sticks, and you kept like smelling the floss. Do you want to talk about this?
So, okay, fine. If you want to go there, it's fine. It's fine. Well, we're going to go there. So
Everything is fine.
I keep saying it and I forget that it's even, this is perfect. So I obviously floss my teeth. I won't lie to you. In my younger years, I did not floss my teeth, but now as an adult,
common. I think that's common.
Yeah, as an adult, I started flossing my teeth, and I found that it made your mouth feel better, taste better, smell better, and not to mention your teeth are healthier because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I graduated from the string to the, this is not a promotional thing right now. But I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, but do you ever smell the floss stick after you flossed your teeth?
It's so gross. It is the worst smell.
Okay, so you've done it. Okay.
I've done it. I've done it.
I know it's gross, but I can't stop. Like I
You got to keep doing it, you mean?
Yeah, I still do it.
I hear you. Do you know what a tonsil rock is? You've never heard that? Okay, so
tonsil rock?
Yeah. Do you still have your tonsils, or have you gotten them? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So back in like the back corner of your mouth where your tonsils are, there's these little glands that are there, and they can get clogged up with like bits of bacteria and stuff. And they form these hard, they're not like rocks, but they're like little hard balls and stuff that get like stuck. Or if I can root at it with my tongue, they get stuck back where those little glands are, and they can form like almost like little pellets. And so you know how your floss smells after you use it? This is such a gross conversation.
I know. Are we going to be able to air this? Sorry, Linda. I'm really sorry.
Linda, of course, is the station manager. A tonsil rock is just an accumulation of all that bacteria like dried up and like stuck together. That is like sniffing dirty floss on steroids. It is the worst.
Okay, like I love it and hate it at the same time.
This makes me think of, you ever watch that show, used to just be a YouTube series, Dr. Pimple Popper? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I can't do it.
No?
I can handle my own things. Like my own pimples, my own floss sticks, like my own dirty hair. No problem.
Is dirty hair really on the same level?
It's not, but I couldn't think of anything else that wouldn't severely gross people out.
That would be.
Okay. So, but other people's stuff,
Are you gonna be okay?
Maybe it's because I haven't been around people for so long that it's even worse to think about it. But people are busting, and this was not a part of our list of things to say today. So if
No.
something gets bumped because of this conversation, I just don't know how people can enjoy watching the other people's secretements of their bodily
Secretements? You're getting
that a word?
intense. Well, it is now. Speaking of weird words, that's another conversation we were having.
Wait, I need to know if you like Dr. Pimple Popper. Like, do you enjoy it?
I like, because she looks at things that are much more severe. So somebody who's got is disfigured from some kind of a cyst or a growth or something, and I like
Because I haven't
how.
really watched the show.
Oh
because
yeah,
I'm
the name is Dr. Pimple Popper. That's what it's called. But she doesn't. She very rarely.
a wide range of different
Yeah,
things.
like you could have a big cyst on your neck that is ruining your life because you're embarrassed to go outside, and she can remove it. And I mean, it can be a little bit nasty to watch, but I really appreciate how she's helping people's lives. So I like the before and after conversation about the way the person is, not so much the part in the middle if she cuts them open and takes out the thing. I mean, I can watch it. It doesn't make me sick or anything. But yeah.
Because you get the viewers, I think, that love that part of it, which is why I would like it, is how you've changed their life for the better. I think that's really
the emotional
important.
impact. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get the viewers that will watch it because they like the gross side of it. But I think those type of people are the ones that watch horror movies and love watching the gory stuff.
Really? Do you think they're the same people?
Yeah.
Really? That's interesting. Well, if you're watching
Okay, well, for instance, sorry to cut you off, but for
I'm sorry.
instance,
Did the middle of my sentence interrupt the beginning of yours?
it did, unfortunately. But me, for example, I don't like to watch people like the gory stuff, and I also don't like the gross pimple popping stuff. Do you enjoy the gory stuff?
Well, see, here's the thing for me. I don't enjoy it, but it's not because it grosses me out. Here's the way I look at it. I think that if let's see what's an example. Let's talk the Saw movies from years ago. They were disturbing, right? It's not that they were gross. They were a bit gross, but they were disturbing. And they were disturbing because there's somebody who spent time thinking about and writing about the most depraved things a human being could do to another human being.
This is where your psychology brain comes into play.
Exactly.
And that is why I enjoy the Saw type movies too.
Yeah. So, but I won't watch those movies because I don't want to contribute to the fame or the profitability of somebody who spends all of their time thinking about the worst things you could possibly do to another person. Because I think that inside your head, there's got to be a small line, and maybe it's opportunity, maybe it's the way you were raised, I don't know, but there's a small line between writing about those things and making movies about them and actually wanting to hurt people. I think that there's something in either your genetic code or your upbringing that makes you very, very close to that line. So
I understand that, but what I try and think about.
I just don't want to be a part of it.
No, but what if they're so creative in that way of thinking that it can go so far in the other direction that they can think of something that's really great too?
Well, sure, but that's not what they're writing movies about.
Yeah, but maybe the market and the money is in the gory stuff. So they're like, well, why would I do all this beautiful, positive things when this is where the money is?
So what you're saying is, so they're not artists, they're hacks.
I'm saying they're artists looking for opportunities.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, we'll revisit.
I disagree.
I just don't think that every single person that's writing a screenplay for a Saw type of movie is borderlining psychopath.
Okay. Maybe not all of them. I think lots of them are.
Definitely. There's definitely some. I'm listening to a podcast right now. I can't even talk about how crazy this stuff is that people are doing. It's actually insane. This guy planned something for 8 years and lived in a bunker and
we're going off the rails.
We are.
Can we go back to before we started recording, when we were going over the list of the show, you were talking about how there's a sense of positivity in the air, and you said it's almost like everything is de-thawing.
Yeah.
And
It's a word.
I said that de-thaw doesn't make sense because to thaw means to come out of being frozen. So de-thaw would have to mean the opposite of that, which would be to freeze. And we literally had a bit of a fight about it.
We did. We had to Google it because it would mean that I was lied to my entire life, and
That's
that
right.
anyone that told me to take out the ground beef to de-thaw it, that I was being spoken to improperly. Like that is not okay with
But
me.
it would explain a lot about you. I mean, it would.
Okay, but what did Google say?
Google said there is a difference. To
But the
de-thaw is to take something and make it no longer frozen. But thawing is to melt from ice to water.
okay, so in the context that I was using, this is just an argument episode, just to let you guys know.
You were right. You were right. You
That's
were
all.
right. However, I have
You're gonna make such a good spouse one day.
what?
I'm just kidding.
I've been married one day. Not now. Not up till this point.
Exactly. I go back to what I said before.
Someday.
Really great.
Oh, yeah, maybe. All right. At Piercey Jason on Instagram. I'm not on any dating apps, but slide into DMs if you think I'm spouse material.
It's fine. It's really
Everything is
fine.
fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Really, really fine.
So, but
fine.
there is another combination of words that I think is similar to that, regardless and irregardless. People seem to think that irregardless isn't a word, but it is.
Irregardless of that, that's irregardless of that.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the way it works is it's kind of like one trumps the other one, and I don't mean like hugely. This is the best ever that's been, that kind of Trump. That was the worst. That was the worst Trump impersonation. But what I mean is like one overrides the other. So you could say to me, "Hey, can I borrow your car?" And I'll be like, "Well, regardless of your request, I'm not going to do it." And you'll say, "Well, really, really important. I really want to do it." And I'll be like, "Sam, irregardless of that." So like one is like stacked on the other one. So it's a way of like.
And you can't really use. You can use regardless on its own, but you don't use irregardless unless you've used regardless first. It's like a prerequisite to use that word.
No, it would just be irresponsible of you. You'd be.
Cut.
No,
cut. This is it.
What do you mean? This is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine.
I wish you had the dog there somewhere.
I know. It's just I could take his coffee cup, have a little sip.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Dan.
Dan, of course, is the producer who does the edit on this after the fact. And if he could find a way to drop that little dog here, I'll move out of the way. I mean, wouldn't that be wonderful? So let's move on to some stuff that makes sense. You were telling me you read an article in Forbes about businesses.
Okay, yes, let's go back to like some actual good content here. Okay, so we all know what we're going through. We all know that there's some people saying that this is a great opportunity for you to use this time to do that thing that you've always been wanting to do. And if you don't come out of this pandemic without a skill or learning a new language or something, then you've wasted your time, right? There was an article in Forbes magazine talking about that pressure is unnecessary and that we are collectively going through trauma as a society, and however you choose to deal with that is normal and you should not feel any guilt or shame whatsoever. I was just kind of curious how you feel about it, because for me as a business owner, I'm filling my time doing all the things that I've been wanting to do, but I made excuses for before, to be honest. And now I'm like, I have all this time to do it.
I think there's a couple of things going on. People making excuses for not growing their business, or like I separate them as like working in your business, working as opposed to working on your business. Right. So working in your business for you would be tattooing eyebrows. Working in my business for me would be out showing houses and listing houses and doing that kind of stuff. Working on your business for you could be your 3 to 5 year growth plan, building your brand, working on marketing campaigns, sourcing out new products, or looking for new people.
Check.
Yeah, exactly. All those
Yeah.
things. For me, it could be continuing to build brand awareness, doing more of the Ask Jason stuff about real estate, continuing to build out a website or different lead generation platforms, or whatever the stuff that I want to do is. That's the difference between working in and working on your business. I think that what Forbes has written has a lot of validity to it, but I think it's also an opportunity to give people more excuses, because there's no more time or less time in a day now than there was previously. And people want the excuse not to do things because they just want to do it. They don't need to do it. There's no drive.
It's the
There's
easy
no like
way out, because it's hard finding that drive every day. It's hard to do. Oh
goodness. Well, see, the thing is, motivation isn't a prerequisite to action. It's the other way around. Action is a prerequisite to motivation.
That's right? Important. I think that's huge, what you just said. It's not like, oh, I'm motivated, I'm going to do something. It's like you're doing it, and that action continues the motivation.
Yeah. But here's a perfect example. And I mean, I'm going to go back to the gross flossing bit, but like this, I mean it really. So nobody wakes up in the morning motivated and excited to brush their teeth and floss. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? But once you do it and you go, and you feel how smooth it is, and you're fresh and you're bright, now you're like, I'm going to get in a shower, and I'm going to put on my nice clothes. I'm going to do my hair. It's the action. The action is followed by motivation. Motivation is, I mean, it's nothing. It's a myth.
Yeah.
You got to do, right?
I even find that, like, some days when I film, if not only like this, if I do other things like this, I'm like, oh my God, I have to get ready. I have to, like, because I'm not used to having to see people, and I know this is going on live. I know that there's going to be, a couple thousand people that are going to see it. So there puts a little bit of pressure. But then once I'm done filming this, I have like this, oh my God, what just happened?
So I'm filming in my living room, and my little girl just walked by and like dragged the computer cord up, and it almost fell on the floor.
Like, I thought it was like an edit. You like zoomed out. No, it was actually really funny.
Like, I'm sick of what you're saying, Sam.
Yeah, you're like, anyway, I'm talking about how motivated I am.
Okay, we're nearly out of time.
Okay, but I do feel motivated. After we do this, I'm like, okay, now my day is started. I've got that kind of like adrenaline, that hype. Like, let's keep going based on that momentum.
Yes.
Okay. Are we?
I have two things that I want to say. One is about waiting for the studio to open, and another one is about, just real quickly before we talk about that. I spoke to my doctor about mental health very, very recently, and we mutually agreed to increase the dosage of my antidepressant so that it can also help with anxiety. And I just want everybody to know that there's no shame in those conversations. And if you're feeling isolated right now and you're not feeling good, it's perfectly fine to reach out and get that help, because I did, and I can talk about it on television, so you can talk about it to your doctor. Like, get over yourself, look after yourself. Everything is fine.
Yeah, everything is fine.
Now, we got like 30 seconds, Sam. So Sam and I have talked with amongst each other, and producers and station managers, and the energy level of Sam and Jason Unfiltered is way better live at a studio. So we're going to go on hiatus until we can get back in the studio. So we love you. We're going to miss you. We're still going to be on social. We're still going to do that stuff. You're still going to see those things. But that's it. So Sam, say goodbye until the studio opens in 10 seconds.
Just kidding. Thank you all for watching us. We're going to come back even better than ever, and we'll see you soon.
That was really good. Next time. Bye.
Bye.
program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive content for free. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
For my kind, there was one place we were never allowed to go. Your world.
What are you gonna do?
Show this world for what it really is.
I took this picture of my wife when she was near death, waiting for a liver transplant. And this is her now.
Hello, I'm Lise Breckenridge. A liver transplant saved my life.
What can I say? You be the judge.
Your donation will help Canadians understand the importance of pledging to be an organ donor,
And will help save the lives of so many more.
as it has for us.